What's up guys? Today we're going to check out Ballerina on 4K Blu-ray. I'm not here to talk about how good or bad this movie is, I'm just going to share some of my thoughts on the audio and video quality. Now let's go over a few tech specs. The movie was shot in 4.6K. It's got a 4K DI, it's rated R. Runtime is 124 minutes, aspect ratio is 239:1, and the audio is in Dolby Atmos. Now before we take a look at this audio and see how active this mix is, if you don't know what the Dolby Atmos Object Viewer is, you can find a link down below in this video's description that tells you all about it, what it does, and where to get it. You can also find a list of all the gear that I use for these 4K reviews down there as well, like the Sony 98-inch Bravia 5, the Sony Bravia 8 projector, or the 26-channel RBH setup powered by Trinov. You should always have proper equipment if you're going to do a review for a movie like Ballerina. Now jumping over to the Atmos viewer, we can see that this has a very strong 7-channel Atmos mix. This is the first big action scene in the movie that comes in around 3 minutes 40 seconds. There are some gunshots that ring out, sometimes in the side channels, and there's an occasional door opening or footstep that finds its way to the surrounds as well. Other than that, not much at all is happening up top. At 33 minutes in, we get a fight at the disco, which remains mostly in the lower 7 channels as well, which is odd because you'd think there would be a lot of top channel usage with music or people running around the club, but there is just not much happening up top again. There's some okay stuff going on with the background commotion in the lower surrounds, but nothing that was really all that exciting. At around 49:49, there's a scene with Eve outside in the rain, which again, you'd expect some overhead raindrops, but there's absolutely nothing going on up top. I mean, it's rain. How do you forget to add rain into the mix? Every action scene is essentially just 7 channels. Now, there are 2 scenes which do have some good overhead activity. At 56 minutes, there's a train that moves from the top right over to the top left. Yeah, and the biggest Atmos event happens with the flamethrower scene, which comes in around an hour 40 minutes in. You'll hear the flames burst out from the center channel and blow right over your head. This is the only time that all 18 of my speakers lit up. And being basically a 7-channel mix from start to finish, this is not a 2-row friendly mix. So if you're sitting in the second row of your home theater or further back, all of the surround activity will happen in the first row. This of course pertains only if you have 2 rows or a bigger setup. As for bass response, this is a big scene at an hour 3 minutes in with heavy gunshots and a couple of hard-hitting explosions. There's a pretty nice peak at around 60 Hz with extension down to 40 Hz, then it drops off from there. So there's not a whole lot of bass in this movie. If you want more bass, then you're going to have to turn up your subwoofers. Otherwise, just like the top channel usage, or lack thereof, the bass is weak. Although the club scene did have some pleasant low-end rumble, and the dialogue was always easy to hear. As for the picture quality, this was shot digitally, but there is a touch of softness to the image. They may have added some faux grain to it because it does have a very light texture, so this doesn't have a 4K digitally crisp picture. It's still very sharp with excellent details throughout. You'll see the fine details on all the close-up shots revealing eyelashes and bruises, and there's great textures in clothings and background sets. Some shots do have a digital look for a couple of the VFX shots, like this car getting T-boned, and of course the digital snow. But otherwise, this has a very nice, very clean 4K look to it. Stylistically, if you're a fan of John Wick, this has the same look and feel. It's dark and moody with blacks that do look elevated a lot of the times, so they can look really dark and gray. Other shots, they are very dark and contrasty, which bounce off the purple and teal backlighting. It's got some nice specular highlights, do have some really nice pop from neons and interior and exterior lighting, with the explosions having the most dramatic effect on HDR brightness. So if you've seen any John Wick movie, then you know what you're getting. It's a good looking movie, but I don't think anyone's going to break this out to show off their 4K display. I'm going to go with an 8.3 for video. Audio-wise, if you have a 7.1 channel setup, you're not missing much by not having Atmos. This mix lives in the lower channels for about 99% of the time. Top channel usage was weak, and so was the bass response. This might be a bigger disappointment than F1. I'm gonna go with a 6 for audio. So what are your thoughts on Ballerina in 4K? Have you seen it? Which you probably haven't. And do you think it lives up to the John Wick movies? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Now, if you do want to grab this movie, I will leave some links for it down below in this video's description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow us on social media. And if you want to support the channel and get exclusive content or great discounts on audio and video gear, then stop by our Patreon page. Be sure to like this video if you found it useful and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you again in the next video.